All right, everyone, we've got totally unexpected news. Nobody could have seen this one coming. I totally didn't expect to wake up at some point this week and find out that Donald Trump had been indicted down in Georgia for election interference. Woo, it sounds spooky. Looking at the charges, though, I would point out that anyone with an attention span and a memory that goes back, more than 6 months or so will remember, what was it? Oh, that's right. In the wake of the 2016 election, the Democrats launched off on a multi-agency investigation of the election, continuing to refuse its legitimacy for years at a time at great taxpayer expense, only to find that there was Russian interference in the form of a troll farm that made Facebook memes. And that was it. It also found evidence that Paul Manafort had done dirty dealing overseas, sort of Biden-esque in form. Only the dirty dealing dated to the Bush administration. Yeah, it was really cool. Thank you for wasting tens of millions of taxpayer dollars. This is persecution. At this point, anyone who doesn't understand what's happening is a tool. What's happening is that the establishment is pissed at Trump. Partially, this is out of fear, and partially, it's sheerly out of retaliatory rage. The Uniparty is mad at Trump for setting back their plans. They're also trying to stop him from winning in 2024. They're afraid of him on that token. They realize that he's likely to win the primaries, but they're hoping to take him off the campaign trail and conspicuously start the main event trial date with Jack Smith right before Super Tuesday. They're doing that, right before Iowa, sorry. They're doing that because they're trying to stop him. They're trying to run interference for the field. They're also trying to scare Republicans into abandoning Trump thinking he can't win in order to get some unipartyist like Ron DeSantis in as the nominee. At this point, he's probably in on the joke. Formerly, I thought not, but given his behavior since then, it's possible. Anyway, link in the description, archived, of course, and look into the charges. Fake electors. That's interesting because alternate electors have been a thing for a while and have been brought up actively by both parties before when they don't get the election results that they like. The idea that Donald Trump phone calling down to Georgia, and if you look at the actual context of his perfect call, as he puts it, and asking them to look through for fraud, the fact that they would even charge him with a crime attendant to that doesn't even make sense. It's not a crime to request such a review. The idea is that Donald Trump was trying to tamper with the results in Georgia, a razor-thin race with a razor-thin margin of victory for Joe Biden. Looking into whether there was fraud there is not against the law. And it's not clear that Donald Trump personally went down to Georgia. The devilish Don went down to Georgia, and he was looking for an election to steal. And he approached some people and personally told them, hey, I want you to pretend that you're an elector so that you can screw with the results in Georgia, and hopefully we can hoodwink them into giving me the state. Well, the problem is that it wouldn't have had any impact on the national election. It would have tilted the balance in favor of Trump slightly, but not enough to get him to 270, so it wouldn't have mattered. He wouldn't have had enough, in the end, he wouldn't have had enough votes in the Electoral College, even with Georgia. It would have taken Georgia plus Pennsylvania or a couple of the other less important states. That's what it would have taken. Where's the contemporary attempt by Devious Dawn in these other states? The reason why he fixated on Georgia and Nevada especially was because there was more evidence of funny business going on. Calling up and saying, hey, I think there's fraud in your election. There are some ballots down there that need to be reviewed. Can you find them? That's not, how is that a crime? It's a request. He didn't attempt to use his office to command the state of Georgia, which he can't even do because of the separation of powers on one end and the 10th Amendment on the other, and state supremacy certainly over most electoral issues. He can't command anything to happen. Where's the evidence that he did anything with regards to the so-called fake electors? There is none. This is yet another persecution. You've got Alvin Bragg's case, in which misdemeanor charges that will fall through if the proceedings are anything approaching fair, because quite clearly all of the tabulations are easily documentable, and they've been artificially upgraded to felonies. Then you've got Jack Smith's case, which refers to the Mar-a-Lago papers and so forth, alleging that Donald Trump was showing other people state secrets related to Iran, stopping World War III in the process. By the way, again, even if he's fucking completely guilty of that, I don't care. Stopping a nuclear war seems a little bit more important to me than waving around some years-old classified bullshit that no longer has relevance because it's not even part of stated U.S. policy. We've got no evidence beyond an audio clip for that one, which is really to say evidence of absolutely nothing at all unless you have a witness, and you don't. We have Jack Smith then dogpiling with record retention laws saying, well, Donald Trump tried to scramble the server. Donald Trump moved his papers around. We still haven't repatriated them all. Devious Don is trying to hoodwink us. Quick, we gotta stop him. Who cares? Overclassification has been repeatedly and cringily mentioned, by the way, in passing, I will say, as a problem. Certainly true, although it's not necessarily the best defense that one can put up because, again, under the Presidential Records Act, he can take those as his personal records. Minus, of course, the Iran paper, which we don't have evidence was shown to anyone. Now we have this bullshit out of Georgia. By the way, there could be further indictments. All precedent has been thrown out the window. Why not have 7, 8, 9 indictments of Donald Trump? State of Nevada can sue him. You get another, the Congress repeatedly subpoenas him or something. The Senate Democrats say, we're going to take him off the campaign trail even more. And that's what this is about. This is about getting Donald Trump involved in 3 separate cases under 4 indictments. One in New York, one in Georgia, and one in D.C. Okay, so it spans the entire East Coast. Well, it takes time, bullshit, to travel. That's the whole point. Set up a bunch of court dates. You kick the can down the road well into the general election, by the way. If he's nominated, and he almost certainly is, because at this point, any independent voter that doesn't climb on board the Trump train is insane. Again, one person doesn't get attacked this much and persecuted this hard by the system unless they're genuinely against the system and the system's fucking terrified of them. What they're trying to do is keep Trump in court, specifically in closed cases so that he can't get attention. And so all the public at home on TV will see, if you're not getting your news from an independent content creator with some sense and credibility and a standard of ethics that goes beyond sleazebag mode, what you're going to see is, day in and day out, here's Donald at the courthouse. He's in court again. He waves to the crowd briefly. He looks disheveled. He looks disheveled? Yeah, you'd look disheveled too if you were trying to campaign for the presidency while running a multi-billion-dollar empire while under 3 separate indictments where you have no choice but to fight. Donald Trump has some money issues in his campaign? No. Really? Because he needs 3 sets of high-powered lawyers at the same time, and his assets are mostly, they're capable of being liquid, but they're locked up with his kids right now generating rent revenue that isn't even his? No. Seriously? A man being that persecuted by both state and federal prosecutions at the same time might look a little bit tired? The DeSantis fans are loving it. If Donald Trump so much as looks slightly glum, all of a sudden it's like front page news. He left the Iowa fair early. I don't give a damn. The man should be pitied for being persecuted by a sick, out-of-control bureaucracy that he unsuccessfully attempted to put back in the goddamn bottle. Other candidates saying they want to do the same thing. Well, sorry, my dude, but it sounds like a knockoff slogan now, doesn't it? I've got no proof that you're going to do jack shit at all. Oh, yeah. Donald Trump being persecuted again. Yet another gallows hill has been set up for Donald. I'm so surprised. It pisses me off, actually, a little bit, because they're effectively telling the U.S. public that they think that they're goddamn stupid. This is a statement that the U.S. public is stupid. They're trying to convince you that this is anything other than a goddamn witch hunt. But it is. Donald Trump did not try to destroy your democracy. I know I hear that all of the time from MSNBC. He tried to destroy democracy. If he's elected again, he might not leave office because he can't run again. And why would he leave? He'll be thrown in jail the second that he leaves. So he's going to cling to power. He's going to be in the Capitol, hunkered behind the desk in the Oval Office with a goddamn 50 cal. He's going to be like General Ripper in Dr. Strangelove. Then he's going to press the little red button for good measure. You people are nuts. You got to be out of your minds. That ain't the way that reality works. The only people trying to destroy your republic right now are the people persecuting Orange Man. That's about all. Peace out.